privilege,
privilege,
privilege, privilege,
privilege.
Don't listen to her. She's one of the privileged. 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 If they come down, she'll have it good.
Well, it was a privilege to work for someone as accomplished and...
And, Your Honor, may I answer her earlier question? Personal privilege, personal privilege, personal privilege.
If you like.
Objection, Your Honor. Attorney-client privilege.
Mr. Thiessen observes the conversation, Your Honor, and is not covered by the privilege.
They could always handle it.
I already used up my phone privilege when I called you. So, are you going to help me or what?
What about you? Are you seeing anyone?
She could be if she'd let me set her up.
No, you lost those privileges when you infected my phone with sex apps.
But Lorenzo is a weak, bankrupt traitor, hiding behind political privilege.
This is a fancy sauna? Not impressed. People pay for the privilege of sitting in decades of ass sweat?
Let me tell you, it's appalling. And the rest of us, idiots that we are, pay $100 a month for the same privilege.
I'm fleecing guards. And oh man, the beautiful privileges they smuggle in to pay off their debts.
I'm pretty busy here. What do you want me to do?
Give me privileges.
It's all hands on deck. Of course you have privileges.
Okay, thank you.
Choosing between two world-class surgeons, this is not a problem. It is a privilege. Embrace it.
Yeah, feel the joy.
argue, argue,
argue,
argue,
Argue.
He doesn't have his staff lined up yet. He also wants us to argue for his release. Argue for his release. Argue for his release.
We can argue, we can fight, but we have to keep talking.
Listen, you don't have to argue with me. Argue with me. Argue with me. I'm stuck with the damn thing.
It's just so uncomfortable talking and eating with someone you don't know.
Well, some would argue that that's actually how you get to know someone.
Yeah, you could argue that.
Okay, why are you guys letting me make all the decisions? It was a lot more fun when I got to argue with you.
I am a structural engineer who's also an electrical engineer.
Hard to argue with that.
They don't validate. How can they not validate?
They're going to argue about this. Then they're going to say yes.
Yes, I was at the Vindicator when Mr. Clay made the decision to publish the cartoon.
And did you argue against it?
I did. I felt it was insensitive to Muslim believers, especially when the same point could be made without depicting Muhammad.
You also argued that it was reckless.
Well, thank you, Mr. Deerfield. We got you out of the lecture room, I see. Only to argue a case I believe in.
Our only defense is that you're just as corrupt as any other politician in this damn town. Then argue it! We have no options.
The records to show that you spoke with her for 37 minutes. You argued, didn't you?
No.
tribe, tribe, tribe,
tribe,
tribe.
Exactly. The prophecy said a boy would lead the tribe. Tribe. Tribe.
They want me to upload a photograph of myself with a shoe on my head. It is a ritual humiliation for the tribe, the tribe, the tribe.
I read about a tribe in Borneo. I can't remember what they were called, but they had this ritual.
We have spoken with the elders of your tribe, and they are coming here to negotiate a deal in exchange.
But I thought Jews ran Hollywood.
I thought so too. Maybe we're in the wrong tribe or something. But anyway, it's just till the end of the year.
I saw this in Ali. It's a ritual to determine your value to the tribe.
You're from the same tribe. It's the best match we're gonna get.
Clerk. Matrimony, from the Adelphic polygyny of the Omaha tribe to the patriarchal polygamy of the early Mormons to the free love hippie communes of the 1970s.
It was there I first heard of the mythical Wendigo from the chieftain of the Algonquin tribe that had provided me refuge for the night.
Constipated. I mean, I get it, you know? I get the whole tribe mentality, us against them, safety and numbers thing, but...
Like that!
We're Havakura. It's a tribe of female assassins who...
Don't wear clothes?
Let's talk federal recognition. Your tribe has waited long enough.
I really want re-enrollment in my tribe.
Integrity.
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 The core brand values of integrity, 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 integrity.
Got it. Thank you.
For your integrity, integrity, integrity. For your honor.
I'm really proud of you. Showed a lot of integrity, of integrity, of integrity. Very sexy.
Have spin coverage on the network and throughout the interlink. Several experts have been lined up to testify against the Bailey structural integrity.
Yeah. See? You know what? Why don't I tag along today just to play buffer between you two, maintain operational integrity?
He never accused me of murder. He impugned my integrity. But we made our peace ages ago.
Well, I wouldn't be. But this one's got some strange hang-up about principles and integrity.
There's an anomaly in the core chamber.
The ring's structural integrity is holding.
The accelerator structural integrity is holding.
What was that?
The ocean floor.
Except for one, here, in Old San Juan, where we'll enter the underground city. A survey team will test the tunnel's structural integrity, then locate the temple.
This area is finished.
She'll assess the structural integrity of the place, and if possible...
Live together. We saw action together. It's all about integrity and character.
Then you have to render the system inoperable without compromising the integrity of the reactor containment vessel.
You saw it coming. The only ones who saw it were your buddies. None of whom had the integrity to say what really happened.
Premium.
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 A coded list of their medical history to help us arrive at a premium. 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 This is...
Irregular, no question.
What's up, man? Look, everybody. Hemp is here. Come on, give me some drinks. Something premium. Something premium. Something premium.
You stop paying the premium. Premium. Premium.
Brad, I almost got killed over this shit twice. Look, I'm not gonna be an asshole about this. I got 2 tons of premium weed.
Pissed off that I beat him to Haystack's Dawn. Now, if I can get his lackeys to sell me their 220 television channels, I become the 3rd largest provider of premium cable in the whole of Asia.
Terminates on American soil at 60 Hudson Street, where, in order to extract financial data first, the top investment firms pay a premium to house their servers.
Walden Real Estate is at a premium here. Thumpers just shouldn't get dibs.
At the Borgata. Also, reservations at a premium table at the X Club with bottle service.
Insurance company. Even though David was about to lose everything, he was still paying the monthly premium on a $10 million life insurance policy.
You will also be required to join a wellness program, or you will pay higher premiums.
Match is right. You have the right to opt out if you prefer to pay the higher insurance premium.
All right.
Mints, Miss Tancred.
Please don't do this.
That stuff on the table is premium.
Grade A.
Candidate.
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 For chicken dinner.
Which I got uninvited to on the day of. You don't do that to your candidate, unless the candidate is no longer your candidate.
Miss Roberts, hoping to be chosen as our candidate for Parliament.
My brother and I are job creators. And because of that, we're also candidate creators. Candidate creators. Candidate creators.
Shields, do you mean to say your blood flows within me? I realise I'm not your ideal candidate for blood brother, but the procedure was too dangerous. I couldn't allow anyone else to risk it.
This innovative thinker said you were a good candidate for the opening on the AG investigative team.
Doctor in good standing.
Someone above reproach. An excellent candidate to help you fake your death.
You know, all of them are major donors with their own super PACs who are still looking for a candidate that they can believe in.
Muscle. And then you'll miss the show. Candidate Blood's Unity Rally. Already rigged with 50 pounds of RDX high explosives.
Previously, on Arrow. Blood's trounced every potential candidate we've focus tested.
You want me to run against Sebastian Blood?
Take her. This is our window. Fury will have our asses if an index candidate ends up in government hands.
I did not know.
I gather you went to hear the Liberal candidate today.
If a replacement had been decided on?
Not yet.
Only I have a candidate I'd like to put forward who I know very well and is more than qualified.
Fancy. Fancy. Fancy.
Fancy.
Fancy.
Now, before you go off to your big fancy college, fancy college, fancy college, big fancy scholarship, fancy scholarship, fancy scholarship. And the fans are going to be screaming. And...
Fancy suits and ties, and fancy suits and ties, and fancy suits and ties, and shirts. No.
You ever stayed at a fancy hotel, LJ?
Well, I made you some ready-to-nuke dinners. Nothing fancy, fake CDs about the extent of my culinary skills.
Well, I'll take her out to a fancy dinner, someplace romantic where everyone will see us.
Fancy address for a homicide. Fancy family. And you sell this in fancy houses at parties with rich kids that got money to burn.
What's up with the fancy?
What? Oh, I have a date. Contrary to popular opinion, yeah, it basically replaces your computer.
Very fancy.
You know, it's yours.
Oh, no. Seriously?
Ooh, I fancy the new outfit.
It's the way you look at me, absent of desire. But you don't fancy Alex.
No, that'd be weird.
Somewhere with cobblestone, like Prague or Brussels.
Ooh, fancy.
Span.
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 Span of 6 months. In the span of 6 months. In the span of 6 months. Took total control of the 5 major syndicates.
I'll take an army.
Told me that this girl, without wealth, lands, or armies, had somehow acquired all three in a very short span of time. In a very short span of time. In a very short span of time. Along with 3 dragons.
Except both involved me saving a life, which I did.
Both involve violations in a very short time span.
But in the span of a year, he's lost his father, and his mother's been taken away.
It's easy. You spin the 2 contacts with something metal.
The sedimentary plain, uniform and gray, seems to stretch out of sight and span lit by the camera.
Wait, is that a yes or no on the freezer? That woman has the attention span of a gnat. She does have a short attention span.
Oh, all right, I'll go. But from what I've seen, his attention span is as limited as his bladder control.
Studies show, due to extended lifespans, the American male is most likely to make a career change in his mid to late 20s.
Ups and downs.
You see, no, you and I, we're not family. I have one of those, and it spans 3 generations and 400 years.
All first editions, the best available on German history.
The entire span of the Cold War would do it, but specifically the 1980s.
Distribute.
Distribute. Distribute.
Distribute.
Distribute.
No time to waste, men. We're gonna distribute these flyers, and then I'm gonna come up with another great plan to make money.
Where's the body? It's distributed.
Working with.
Well, obviously, we can't distribute these to the media. Distribute these to the media.
And possession of narcotics in the amount that would constitute conspiracy to distribute.
Now, we got a lot of new phones to distribute today, okay? So, to keep things fun...
They must have distributed most of the supplies before the last bombs went off.
Please. I was hoping you could help me distribute that to hospitals, radio cars.
Yeah. Send me the file, all right?
Okay. An impression he took.
How many sets of dentures did you distribute based on the model?
Maybe 8, 10.
Los Caballeros gang. Priors include assault, attempted manslaughter, and conspiracy to distribute cocaine.
Can't believe this happened. The Hood's attacks have strictly been limited to people in the financial sector trying to redistribute wealth in the Glades at gunpoint.
The last one is Shreve's men because it has the plans for how they are going to distribute the virus. I'm going to use it to stop them. So when is Shreve going to distribute the virus? I don't know.
Overflow.
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 Prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows, overflows, overflows.
Eddie interacted a number of times with a user named Integer Overflow. 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 It appears Mr. Overflow searched for the games himself in 2009, but failed to find them.
Integer Overflow. Beechwood only had trash up to 79. Artifact Eddie, what about Flushing Avenue? Integer Overflow. The map I have is spotty, but you can have it. Okay, so they're sharing information.
11:15, tables and chairs put away in the gym from Overflow. Overflow. Overflow.
Hi! Between Mrs. Stubbe and Mrs. Helms, my egg overflow problem was solved.
Oh, and Celine, make sure you don't stuff him too much because of the way it overflows in the oven later. And
Okay. This world, Mike, it's overflowing with evil men that you can't even fathom.
My cup overflows. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life.
Why are these prisoners not in their cells? Cells are overflowing, my lord.
It's horrible. The world is overflowing with horrible things, but they're all a tray of cakes next to death.
Control unit, a microcomputer that regulates air-to-fuel ratio so the subcooled fluid in the chambers don't overflow and
explode.
Right.
Yep, so they brought the water along there and then up through the portal chamber. Now, that looks like an overflow drain deep in the woods.
I've done some terrible things. I should be overflowing with regret, but...
Remedy. 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 Remedy.
Your right to sleep. It's a very powerful herbal remedy. Remedy.
And why should I talk to you? Because I can remedy that, remedy that, remedy that.
Can't decelerate. I'll do my best to remedy your problem. Remedy your problem. Remedy your problem.
Remedy faster, Sherlock. I'm kind of hosed right now.
You're famous all over the country. Remedy. Keep typing.
Rough night?
Rough life.
Yeah. I thought you might be a little hungover, so I brought you a remedy that's been in my family for years.
You must return and mend it. There's no remedy unless by not so doing our good city cleave in the midst and perish.
Representing him, that's your requested remedy?
Yes, Your Honor. Damien Boyle is not just representing the Garrity crime family.
Whaling Goggle Man alone must burn enough fuel in a year to send a rocket to Mars.
He wasn't abusing the booze and taking the cough remedy medicinally.
Well, we'll have to remedy that, Miss Harrington. One for the lady, please.
Oh, quick. Nature's Surefire Sunburn Remedy. Hello?
Sunshine.
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 A breath of sunshine, 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 in an otherwise dreary morning.
Camembert.
Calvados.
The Riviera had both those things. And sunshine, and sunshine, and sunshine.
Yeah, so did Paris.
You're my sunshine. My only sunshine.
Just smile and have fun.
Why? I hate these shoes. I look like Little Miss Sunshine.
Excuse me, sunshine.
You're just a ray of sunshine today, aren't you, Dad? Please forgive me.
Much as I appreciate a walk in the sunshine, your lordship, I am wondering why you sent for me. There she is. Good morning, sunshine.
Good morning, sunshine.
Transport.
Transport. Transport.
Transport.
Transport.
We're here to transport one of yours to Central. A Richard Castle?
I'll call him. Maybe he can help with transport. And Cisco?
This plane was a prisoner transport. We transport.
So the people who are after us are escaped criminals.
Guys stole an ostrich, transported across state lines.
Intercepted it at transport. Apparently they had a court order.
Luckily for us, Tibetan pit viper venom is surprisingly difficult to transport. It starts losing its potency the moment it leaves the fangs.
Tomorrow, Roz plans to transport the virus to Sterling on a plane.
Transport, we are under attack. Taking rocket and small arms fire from hostile.
I told transport they've been advised of their rights and no one is to question them until we get back to the barracks.
Cafe.
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 I can also see Batman underneath the table.
Because of the X-ray vision, of course.
No, I can just see him. It's a cafe table. I mean, it's really obvious.
I hit the internet cafe. You know how many emails I had in my box?
$50. I'll split it with you, but you hold your end up.
I'm not sure that was the deal.
Relax. I made a reservation at Cafe Spoleto. Cafe Spoleto. Cafe Spoleto.
Hello. You've reached Ivan's Fish Shack, Southport's finest waterfront cafe.
Terrorist? My wife and son met a terrorist once. In a cafe in Tel Aviv.
Can we get that much money? I will write the details. You go send it from the internet cafe.
Meet me tomorrow at the Highland Cafe on Kennedy Avenue. This isn't a trap. I will tell you everything you need to know. Highland Cafe, 8 p.m.
The day the patient collapsed, she said she was working?
Cleaning job in Summit, then she went straight home.
Well, she got a credit card receipt for lunch from a cafe in Trenton.
It must be Mia's brother. I see the resemblance.
Is Mia around?
She works at the cafe.
Where's the cafe?
I'll show you.
Thank you.
All right, listen up, everybody. Stay calm and stay inside. We leave the cafe till the rain stops, all right?
Pleasure, sir. The people have been tracking her?
Yes, we followed Miss Belikov to a cafe in this market.
You want to know about her? Ask Blaine Miller at the Space Place Cafe.
Hey, what's up, Bones?
Where are you? I went to the cafe, but you weren't there.
Refute. Refute.
Refute.
Refute.
Refute.
We ask the court's indulgence in hearing evidence intended to refute the applicant's charge.
His testimony's hearsay. Daria will just refute it. Refute it.
Right. So tell this Santos he's lying.
Do you refute them? Mr. Santos?
Because there is a law such as gravity, the universe can and will create itself from nothing. And to be honest, I tend not to refute that.
This is a simple matter of contract law. I'm sorry to refute the sexual tease of my opposing counsel, but really, what I need to know is, can you judge my client and see how she could?
Well, Eli needs something to refute her.
She's gonna print it.
You can't win by fighting sexism.
They're charging sexism. Are you saying I can't refute it?
No. Yes.
Accused of boiling a bunny and murdering Tom.
I can refute anything they brought up. All you need to do is find a new alibi for that night by tomorrow.
No, she can't, because I'll be there to refute her lies. I'll defend you with dignity and class and my new lipstick I just found on the subway.
I told you I was at my apartment taking a nap.
Can anybody substantiate that?
Not really. Can anyone refute it?
Fresh. Can't live with them, can't successfully refute their hypotheses.
The problem is she laid out a series of logical arguments that I couldn't refute.
That is the worst, isn't it?
Yes.
It's just pure rhetoric. It's just talking the talk. But to refute the role that all crows are black, all you need is one single white one.
Exist.
exist,
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 We don't exist.
We transport 2 billion tons of oil every year on board our supertankers, which are the biggest mobile constructions that exist.
You know my mom doesn't believe that you exist.
I exist.
And by a chance, I mean a 100% chance that she doesn't exist.
A lot of time, Briggs.
It's enough time to get into that car and destroy whatever recording might exist.
And it's gonna make you look real guilty. It's hard, you know. One day I'm his father, the next day I don't exist.
By looking for something that doesn't even exist? It does exist!
What's his connection to that base? If it indeed does exist.
Can't you call someone?
This mission does not exist. I don't exist.
Right. The company she invested in doesn't exist.
I don't understand.
We all do, and guys like him exist.
Yeah, he's so hot.
Now S.H.I.E.L.D. knows we exist, and they won't stop till they find Afterlife.
The Von Strucker family vault does not exist.
I don't remember seeing it from my dreams.
That's because it didn't exist.
Expand.
Expand. Expand. Expand.
expand.
And I think this situation was attracted into my life as a huge learning lesson for me to grow and expand as a spiritual human being.
Compile a list of every service station within a 5-mile radius, and we'll expand from there. And we'll expand from there. And we'll expand from there.
Were you going to say something?
No, we're past it.
Here, that the Merlin Global Group is looking to expand its local philanthropy, and I thought that we could start by sponsoring a benefit for.
I'm gonna need to expand. I need more power. New processor 3 times more capable than this current system.
We applied direct concentrated heat to those rivets. Expand the snap right the fuck off.
If you pay to expand the orphanage, the retirement homes will expect you to do the same, and then the schools.
We got a dozen ESU trucks coming in right now. I put the alert out to the FBI and counterterrorists to expand the EBU search to a 30-block radius.
This is right.
I want you to expand this search. See if she got picked up a few blocks away.
Yes, sir. We've begun alterations to expand our holds. But as I predicted...
France. So far, they all seem legit. So Ryan and I are going to expand our search in the morning.
Well, as it happens, I'm looking to expand my brand. Fight is spreading beyond the evac area. We need to expand the perimeter. We can't.
Crime.
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 What do you mean lured him? After he committed a crime? Crime?
Crime? What crime? I lured him here so I could hunt him.
Oh, before long, the midnight stranger had rid the village of crime. Another time I was assaulting and batterying this tea shop, because that's how I roll. Crime. Doing. Because I'm live.
Because of Crunch's record, Interpol will be brought in. But since no crime has been committed, Bick can't touch us.
Then we're staying MPD. I'd appreciate it you get out of my crime scene.
Yeah, actually, it's my crime scene, but knock yourself out.
Thanks.
Because we have this sale going on.
Well, there you have it, a bizarre twist in today's crime spree, a criminal who appears, at least at moments, to be honest. Back to the newsroom. He continued his crime spree by stealing an $80,000 Porsche Carrera at gunpoint.
The scene of the crime requires further investigation.
Zach. But when you tax a crime, you make it a commodity.
Team for another month.
Hold out your arm.
On the Ark, every crime, no matter how small, is punishable by death.
unless you're under 18.
Of oxygen! That was an unauthorized spacewalk? It's a capital crime.
I'm still 17.
Every day they put bad people in prison and protect America. If there is a crime, the FBI stops it.
Crime happens in this city every day. What do you want me to do?
Crime in the Glades is rising. The cancer is spreading.
We just need to...
Besides, do you know the Darbinian crime family?
Earlier today, you worked a crime scene where this metahuman electrocuted an innocent man. He's a murderer!
Nutrient. Nutrient. Nutrient.
Nutrient. Nutrient.
Nesting, very maternal, primal thing where it retains nutrients, some sort of molecular physiology thing.
This is an upwelling current. It churns the water, bringing nutrients. A skeleton that resembles a tree, branches, or leaves. To survive in these waters scarce in nutrients.
This is the magic potion, boys and girls. Advanced nutrients. More bud, less stem, and away we grow.
It's all good. Here we go. It's gonna be a lot to carry. We're gonna need to pack out all the plants, advanced nutrients. We need tubing for a water system. Weed strain I'm working on. It's really strong, but it has a kind of low yield. Do you have any nutrient solutions that might help force more buds?
We sell, quote, gardenings.
Precisely. Something in the soil's provided extra nutrients for this tree.
You think something was decomposed?
Seriously, I think I might have
Malabsorption. Her system's not retaining the necessary nutrients.
a GI infection, causes malabsorption, granulomatous buildup of cells.
It's like red dye. Who are these guys?
He's right. And years of tobacco farming drained the land of nutrients.
Which caused the topsoil to wash away, which left behind hard clay.
Well, you're better informed.
It's growing season.
When the tree gets maximum nutrients.
Right, and the skinny rings develop during the winter when a tree grows more slowly. But note here, 2 wide rings in a row, suggesting that
Dirt.
Worms use their muscular pharynx to suck in soil. They extract the nutrients and give the rest back.
That's a nice way of saying worm turd.
Yeah, well,
Could have happened. We make a good product. We put in an abundance of nutrients, flavorings.
And people. So all these cans accounted for?
I had drivers picking up
Kale and apple juice smoothie. It's time to think less about your cravings and more about filling that baby with nutrients, which that has.
It also has chunks. I don't like chunks. I want my coffee.
Mark.
Emphasis.
Emphasis. Emphasis. Emphasis. Emphasis.
My fund runs a diversified energy portfolio with an emphasis on Gulf producers, an emphasis on Gulf producers, an emphasis on Gulf producers. Huh?
I'm sorry, what shit?
I think I missed something.
She said it was good. Emphasis on the good.
Okay, posture, shoulders in, for emphasis. He wants your attention here.
Oh, we drop it on the news right away with an emphasis on your history.
Ethical credentials, don't mention the BP campaign, and let's emphasize the online campaign we did for Greenpeace.
Derek Hume had all kinds of money, emphasis on had. Now, after the crash in 08, banks foreclosed on most of his properties.
I dug it out of the closet so I could do it with more emphasis.
Work with.
And?
Kendra's real name was Kelly Tasker. Emphasis on was. She died in a car wreck 3 years ago.
I imagine hand-to-hand combat was of particular emphasis. Blade work. None of that will guarantee a conviction in an American court. Emphasis on American.
Too bad Adeline can't be here to celebrate with a little champagne. Emphasis on the pain part.
Altitude.
Altitude. Altitude. Altitude.
Altitude.
Let's get our slot! We're hit! Mayday! Mayday! We're losing altitude! We're losing altitude! We're losing altitude!
I have no doubt. Remember, this is a halo jump. Halo. High altitude, high altitude, high altitude, low open.
Have checkerboard to sight, flaps to 30. Checkerboard in sight, flaps to 30, altitude, 1,000 feet. What was our last wind speed? 225 degrees at 20 knots.
TV2 is inbound to the crime scene south of downtown. TV2, Police 3, please maintain 1500 or above. We'll go on the altitude.
I was trying to alert people to the real threat of something like this happening. Instead, I've set the whole thing into motion.
How can they get it to altitude?
Suicide bomber in a private plane?
The death zone. In mountaineering parlance, it's the altitude above 26,000 feet where oxygen is insufficient to sustain life.
Oh, we have something in common.
Charlie, team at the altitude. Waiting for your go order, boss.
A little pilot trick. I'm going to decrease the cabin pressure by manually raising the cabin altitude.
By the time Lawrence is being hauled downtown, we'll be sipping champagne at cruising altitude.
Bernard, my husband. His hands swell up whenever we fly.
The altitude.
What would you say is the minimum altitude I need to achieve to cement our newfound friendship? Wallowitz is trying to outflank us. Let out some string at altitude and I'll go under and cut his line.
Cooperative.
Cooperative.
Cooperative. Cooperative. Cooperative.
They said Jillian Cole isn't being cooperative. Cooperative. Cooperative.
How are you feeling today? More cooperative, more cooperative, more cooperative.
Do you want to be a cooperative person, cooperative person, cooperative person who's compassionate?
Give me a break here.
There he is. Cooperative George.
He was, bar none, the least cooperative patient I've ever had.
To earn your visiting privileges, you'll have to be a bit more cooperative than that.
I know.
He volunteered to be the test subject. He's been very cooperative. He's a remarkable man.
I would assume your plan would work best if she were cooperative in it, if she...
And the prosecutor will know how cooperative you are.
You tended to be a lot more cooperative.
Myself? My most recent paper on how cooperative long-term potentiation can map memory sequences and dendritic branches made the cover of Neuron.
Publication.
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 Publications like Rolling Stone and Spare Rib were created to feed the need for alternative narratives from the established newspapers of the day.
I'm tired. What do you need, Mr. Phillips? I've already told you I can't force the English teachers to pass out the Chronicle or any other biased publication.
Well, I don't know, Cooper. You're the one who did the final proof. Well, we can't have that in a children's book. We just pulled the plug on publication, so that's good.
I can imagine. Do you have any idea what the publication of these results will mean to Dr. Buckley and his department? Yeah, I guess.
What do you mean? Not for publication yet, okay? Okay.
Well, it's my favorite of your publications, sir. Our publications here at Shabandar Media. In fact, without wanting to overstate things, I would say it may be my favorite publication ever, without the qualification of Shabandar Media, etc., etc.
Exposing corruption and conspiracy wherever it exists.
We're gonna have to push back publication. There's no way we can release in 4 days.
Agreed. However, now Fedorov is about to become president of Russia. That makes him a person of interest to the world and to my publication.
Captain?
Every publication in the city with a circulation over 50,000 just got a statement taking credit for the bomb at the restaurant.
Data dredging to sell pharmaceuticals, publication bias to justify wars. In the wrong hands, math can be manipulated.
Oxford University Press.
I've written many papers for that publication. Could you be more specific about the subject matter?
Time travel.
Democratic. Democratic.
Democratic.
Democratic. Democratic.
It's Thin Lizzy. It's Mozart. His taste is democratic. Democratic. Democratic.
This is the Democratic cloakroom. The Democratic cloakroom. The Democratic cloakroom, Hector. Yours is on the other side.
The democratic process is no stranger to hardship and suffering.
But the death of Michelle Daley is especially cruel and incomprehensible.
Mr. Chairman, I was in Honduras as a consultant to the Pan American Democratic Relief Organization.
As the turbulent decade drew to a close, Students for a Democratic Society, the leading student group opposed to the war in Vietnam.
Let's send them back to Washington. Democratic Congressman today, Vice President tomorrow.
I just wanted you to say out loud if you believed in the teachings of the Bible.
Is this a Democratic primary or a general election?
Head of the Democratic National Committee.
His wife practically jumped me.
Secret ballot. Let the democratic process unfold.
Automatically on board.
Guilty as charged. I don't think that every problem has to have a democratic solution, but what's happening right now is that you're upset.
Proof that once again, the anti-capitalist agenda is alive and well in the Democratic Party.
Strategy. Strategy.
Strategy. Strategy. Strategy.
Hot potato with a grenade isn't much of a strategy. Strategy. Strategy.
Didn't know you were going for a jog. I have a different strategy. Different strategy.
I need to clear my head for a bit.
Well,
that strategy is not working for me.
Perhaps what our situation requires is a change in strategy.
The strategy is obvious. Corners are easier to defend.
I have a strategy.
you asked about my strategy.
Well, if your strategy is to lose really fast, that was a great move.
Lawyer, but I don't think retail therapy is a viable legal strategy.
Don't knock it. Everyone needs an exit strategy eventually.
Not me. Shield's my life now.
I'll try to make it home this weekend, but with the strategy meetings, it's...
Actually, out in the open like that, it's a dangerous strategy, sir.